As always, I'm grateful to be having you listener hapo nyumbani unatusikiza, and the purpose of these sessions is educative. So I'd like people to get to know about actually it's just a pod, so we talk about any stuff that's affecting us, mostly on personal relationships, isolation, and social life. So feel represented, and today, before going any further, I'd like to introduce the topic of the day. So we are going to talk about energy.
Energy.
Yeah, we are going to talk about energy.
What a topic.
Okay. Specifically, I decided to choose energy because of late, as an mwananchi wa kawaida, we've been going through a crisis. Yeah, tumekuwa na shida ya energy in terms petrol, everything.
It's such a complex topic.
It's such a complex topic, and that's why I brought you on board, because I know that you are kwa hizi maneno you are knowledgeable. So what do you understand by energy? Your own understanding.
Energy is what provides the capacity to bring about a change in matter. So in the most basic definition of energy should be any capacity for doing work.
Okay.
That's energy. I lift a finger, that's energy. It has been provided by the food I've eaten. Even right now, I'm speaking thanks to the energy that is in me as a result of the food I eat.
Acha tuseme in local terms, ule mwananchi wa kawaida. How can you explain it to him? We are Kenyans, na tuko Radio 254, so we have to speak in Swahili. So unaweza explainia juu mtu wako nyumbani umuulize, umwambie energy ni nini?
Energy tukiweka kwa Kiswahili labda, energy ni chochote ambacho kinakupatia uwezo labda kufanya kazi aina yote.
Yeah.
Ndio. So to bring about change in matter, that's what I talked about here. So kama ninaweza hata kuweka hii chini headphones, nimetumia kitu inaitwa energy, nikaiweka chini. Kwa hivyo ni chochote ambacho kinakupatia nguvu labda uweze kufanya jambo lolote, kitu chochote kile.
I get it that the world, as we know, has been around for the longest time.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly long enough that our finite minds and everlasting research could fathom and hypothesize. But our insatiable desire to come to terms to elusive history of our world has forced humanity from time immemorial to refer either willingly or begrudgingly to the two opposite extremes of science and religion, which claims all profundity. To answer the eon-long question of history, to better understand our world. That's your quote.
That's my quote.
Why?
Yeah.
What was your... ulikuwa unafikiria nini ukiandika such a quote?
Thank you for that. What a wonderful question. So energy has been around for the longest time, just like the quote. So energy has been there for civilizations. In order for a civilization to grow and become much more profound, to grow, to have a way of doing things, to make things easier, there must be advancement in the field of energy.
Yeah.
So we are talking about energy. It has been there for the longest time. Mm-hmm. Not only the renewables, which are natural and things that have been there for the longest time, but also the non-renewables, mind you, have been there even for about 4,000 BC.
Non-renewable
sources of energy are those that are produced not at the same rate at which they are consumed.
Yeah.
So whenever we consume them, they're not being proliferated in the same way we are consuming them. So they are reducing non-renewables like coal, like oil, like natural gas, So these are, in fact, oil accounts for 40% of our energy right now.
Yeah.
And these are the most used today in our world today. The non-renewables are mostly used. Then we have the renewable sources. They are produced or proliferated at the same rate at which they are consumed. So wind, solar, hydro energy, biomass, so they are not being decreased as we use them, but they proliferate, or in another way, they continue to exist, in that cycle, like the wind cycle, the hydro thing, So right now, these are the alternatives sources of energy. They're not mostly used in comparison with the renewables, with the non-renewable, sources of energy which are mostly used.
So according to our country, now that you've done your research, which do you think is the most source of energy that we use across all households?
Across all households, beyond
the one that we consume the most?
Beyond any reasonable doubt, we consume, first of all, let's look at the bigger picture, we consume non-renewables.
Okay.
As a country, Kenya, for instance, or majority of our nations in Africa, but specifically Kenya, the one that we use is electricity provided by hydro power.
Okay. But that's a renewable.
That's a
It's not a
renewable. It's a renewable. It's a renewable source of energy.
Yeah.
Sorry, but to say the least, it's not that it's mostly used in Kenya.
So we consume electricity the most.
Electricity.
And
but the fossil fuels are much used than the hydropower.
Okay.
Okay. So in as much as our electricity is provided by hydro, in Kenya specifically, most of the time we consume fossil fuels like diesel, oil, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where the difference comes in.
Okay. And what do you think could be the cause easy fuel kupanda? Kwa sababu I understand that in Turkana we do have an oil plant.
Oil plant.
Okay, and I was researching and ilinihit vibaya kwa sababu niliona the residents hapo were around the area where it's called Takwel. Hapo palikuna mainiwa. They only have a 15%. And I understand kukifunguliwa any company, the people who need to get the larger portion are the residents first before the foreigners come. What shocked me is that the Takwel Mining Company, it's an international company. So what it does, it's like the major shareholder in the company, in the company. So what can you say about that? Why should we be complaining about fuel and any other kind while we have an oil mining plant?
For the longest time we have been battered and bruised by governance, thanks to our scrupulous so to say this, but let the truth be told, some scrupulous individuals who want to enrich themselves, who always want to bring about a situation in which their own personal desire take precedence over the overall good. And that's the worst thing that we are seeing right now. So talking about we should have about 15%, you say that?
Yeah.
But that's not even close to what they're getting.
Actually, they should be having over 50+1.
Over 50+1.
They should be the majority shareholders.
Of course, yes.
The locals around the area, because one, the mining activities affects them socially, even psychologically. Yeah, you understand, physiologically. So they should be catered for in a nice manner because it's the area, and even employment. They should be getting the larger portion, and the foreigners should be
So that is not going to happen anytime soon. I'm sorry to say that. Not that I'm.
Okay, I understand. I know. I mean, I'm a Kenyan.
Mhm.
I know.
This is how the world runs.
Not even the world, our country. Right?
Okay, let's keep it to 254.
Okay.
I see that's the
Yeah. 254 is the
So-
thing right now.
This will not change
Okay.
because at the end of the day, those who already wield power would want to get more and more, and even if it means taking the little from the people, they will do that.
Okay.
And that's what we have been seeing all along.
Okay.
Yeah, even when we talk about the non-renewables and stuff like that, like what was going on in Lamu.
Okay.
You know, they were
The coal plant. Actually,
coal plant.
we demonstrated against that thing, and the response that we got from the government was quite negative.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think in Kenya, whether it's a peaceful demonstration or not a peaceful demonstration, it's against the law. But what I know from the constitution, it stated that we have a right to demonstrate. For peaceful demonstration.
Yeah.
They don't understand.
Yeah.
You see, the perpetrators understand, but they use the law to benefit themselves. They use the police. Now the police, even, I'm sure, ukienda kuuliza even one police about the constitution, not many can understand. Okay, so keeping it to the energy part, the coal plant.
The coal plant, yeah.
It was bad.
Terrible.
It was terrible. It ilikuwa inaua fish mostly.
Yeah.
Now the
Yeah.
people around there, they depend on fish.
They spend on fish, that's to make a livelihood.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. So their land, the degradation of their land, the degradation of their natural resources, that was very much appalling, to say the least, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that shouldn't be condoned in any way, but nothing was done. So what can we learn from that? Even after, as you say, you protested about it. Yeah.
Actually, we protested twice, and
Not once,
and the response was bad. So I don't think even if a demonstration is going to help in any way.
So I'm not shocked. Yeah, I'm not shocked, and that's.
I'm not shocked either.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be. That's the pattern that we have been seeing all along.
Yeah.
Because those who wield power, I will say again, they have it all to themselves. You know.
Yeah.
And when they do have it,
Yeah.
it's not easy for them to actually open and give it to the one probably who needs it.
Okay.
You know. So this is one of the most pathetic aspects of our governance. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this will not change anytime soon. The only thing that is going to bring about change is when we have political change, first of all. And how do we bring it about? First of all, we need to change ourselves, so we need to have a social change. So if we change as a society, you protested. I can ask you a question. How many were you protesting then?
There were many.
You were many about.
There were many.
Can you give me a significant number?
No, I don't have a figure in mind because it was human rights and social justice centers and Amnesty Kenya, so it was big enough.
So big enough, but mind you, a lot of people know nothing about it. They never even understood that you went to a demonstration.
So they are not aware.
They're not aware.
The public awareness.
Public awareness is lacking,
Okay.
and that's the worst thing of all. That's what I'm saying. If we change first socially before we try to change politically, to bring about a change, overall change in the nation, then nothing will change, because first of all we need to support one another.
Okay. So currently, what can you say about fuel prices? Because I understand it's part of energy.
Fuel prices we've been seeing an upsurge in prices for the longest time, and this is part and parcel of their plan to try and ensure that non-renewables remain preferable to renewables, because when that happens, they are going to gain much from it.
Okay, in my understanding is that the capitalists they gain too much from the energy. So when we try to induce the renewable sources of energy, they'll go broke, they'll go bankrupt.
Yeah.
That's why they are keeping a tight grasp on that.
So in a layman's terms, they're trying to do what we call to protect their business model.
Okay.
That's it. They're protecting their business model so that they may continue to reap great harvests. They may continue to gain from it.
Okay.
So oil prices will continue to be buoyant. And as you said before, while defining non-renewables, sources of energies that are depleting, they're not increasing in comparison with the renewables. So as they deplete, the more and more they deplete, the more and more we are going to see an upsurge in prices.
And how do you think this will impact the ordinary mwananchi?
The ordinary mwananchi will have to act to suffer. You will have to work. You have to go the extra mile.
He's already going an extra mile. Which extra mile do you want the ordinary mwananchi to go? Is at the end.
They have to.
Yeah.
For instance, today the population is increasing. You know.
Okay.
And the more and more population increases, so the energy fuel efficiency also decreases because the population is increasing. So they have to add more energy in order to sustain the ever-increasing population. That's it. And if they're depleting, if non-renewables are the only thing we're relying on, our over-dependence on it is actually threatening. It's a menace to our own society because the more they deplete, the more they decrease,
but
we're going to see an upsurge.
But it's nature, you cannot.
Yeah, it's nature.
It's nature. Wezi force watu kukosa kuzaana because that's rule number one. God said and go to the earth and multiply.
That's a different topic, by the way.
Okay, no, but what I'm trying to bring across is the earth is ours. We need to multiply as many times as we can. So it doesn't matter whether there's enough energy or there's no enough energy. But deep down, what I know, there's enough energy for everybody, and no one has to struggle to get these resources.
Now get the point. I want you to get the point. It is scientifically proven that the non-renewables, the ones that we use most of the time, the ones that are widely used, the non-renewables, they say in 100 years' time from now, scientists are saying they would have completely finished. And to add to that, if our over-dependence on it is actually being seen right now, and we are refusing to actually turn away from it and tap into the renewable sources, which are much cheaper probably and which do not deplete, then it means that our ever-increasing population will have to suffer.
First of all, let me cut you short. Who did put a price tag on energy?
A price tag on energy?
Who did put it?
A price tag on energy, I would say, probably it's controlled by the OPEC nations, so I can't say in particular who.
And why? Because energy is a natural resource.
It's natural,
I think it should cut across all the households. Everybody should be free to use whatever source of energy he or she wants to use.
Yes, that's very true. But why are we why is the renewable sources being suppressed?
Capitalism.
So we are going round and round in circles. Everyone needs to have their own understanding and therefore choose what they truly want. But it's being suppressed by the same capitalists and elites.
Okay, I happen to work around a school, and I get to listen to the students' complaints. Wanajita comrades. They usually complain that even cooking is hard. They do cook a meal a day because the price of gas is doubling every night. It used to be 700. The 3 kg. Is it 3 or 5? I don't use gas regularly. So 5 kg. Previously it used to be 700. I mean, and it went to 1,000 bob. It went to 1,300 and now it's 1,500. So imagine that student, the parent has to send him or her some money to cater for his or her needs, and the parents also have to cater for their own needs. So you see, who's feeling the pinch? The parent, yeah? And comparing the income, the revenue sources that the parent has, and comparing it to the ever rising prices, it doesn't match. So every time the prices go up and the salaries remain constant, they remain dormant, or even they go lower, and even there's a retrenchment. People get fired.
True.
So I'm wondering. To me, it doesn't make sense.
It's even an international problem right now, not only a national one, but on the national basis, let's say, right now, that's the truth, So, in as much as the prices, we're having a surge in them, your salary will never increase.
Okay.
So if this month you had to spend 500 shillings, for instance, and the fuel prices have surged over the month, next month I'll have to reduce my spendings, in order to cater for the ever-rising prices, So at the end of the day, the pain will always be there.
The ordinary mwananchi.
The ordinary mwananchi
is the one who suffers.
The battered and bruised by it.
The transport cost is increasing.
Ever increasing.
Because of the fuel.
The fuel prices.
Man, I hate this country. So, it's my country, but I do hate it. No, I don't. Okay, literally, I don't mean that. But what I do mean, it's a symbolic. You view it in a symbolic point of view. In that I hate the government that is in. But then again, I'm the one who chose the government that is there.
You are really strong to actually utter those words that you hate the government that is actually in power, because few people will actually go the extra mile to say that. Very few people.
I hate the government that is currently in, because I can feel the pinch.
So you should actually, first of all, let's say and be much more specific about it. Let us hate the government. As I said before, as we were beginning, there could be probably one or two single or rather individuals who actually are leaders and try to agitate for a change that will help the commoner.
But
their own efforts are not being recognized, and it's always just fruitless, So this is bad governance, and much more, few of them who consider themselves elite.
So I should hate on the governance.
The governance,
not the government.
Government, because the government is very wide, my friend. There are very, very kind people in the government.
Okay. So you know several sources of government's revenue, right? Should they also put a tag on fuel as a source of their revenue before we go on break? You're laughing, but it's true, because wamekata tag kwa fuel, so they're earning too from the fuel. They shouldn't be earning from the fuel.
In fact, they don't spend much on the fuel. They don't spend, actually. They don't spend,
So they gain.
They gain from it. They don't spend on it, So that's why the wearer of the shoe is the only one feeling it.
The one who feels it knows it. We are feeling from a little. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be continuing with our topic. It's energy.
Energy.
The show. For more of these episodes, log on to our YouTube page on Just a Pod. Listen, share, like, subscribe, and for any queries, just contact us on ivusat@gmail.com. That is IVUSAHT@gmail.com, or you can get into personal contact with us on 07 07032-956. I'll repeat, 0718032-956. And if it's an international call, remember to add the country code, which is +254. Thank you.
Karibu tena. Welcome. We had gone on a short break. I hope bado mko hapo. I hope you are still listening. We were tackling energy. So before we went on break, tulikuwa tunaongelea about the current surge in prices of oil and oil products and petroleum products in our country. Na tulikuwa tunauliza, personally I was asking, Mbona we know the different sources of revenue that the government earns from. Mbona iweke a tag on fuel? They gain too much from the fuel. And fuel, as we know, is a natural resource. They shouldn't be gaining from it.
They shouldn't be.
Because and I think it should cut across, because about the Article 1 of the Constitution, it said that okay, the power belongs to the people, and everyone has a right to availability of resources. Kila mtu anafaa apate equal amount of resources. But ukiangalia, we have been having an equal share of resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's highly unequal. And this inequity will continue to protract, I think, into the future.
Yeah, I know it's a worldwide crisis. Yeah, I know it's a worldwide crisis. But then again, the governance. Now that hata tunaelekea into an election period this year, I hope it will safe. Because of late, what I'm seeing, hopefully, we cannot be sure.
We cannot be sure.
But we pray to God that it will safe. Because with what I'm seeing, with what I'm hearing, I don't like it at all. People have started wameanza to prepare going back home.
Yeah. And you can see that much more they are actually trying to. I don't want to be quoted, but you can see the border guys now being used.
And actually,
one way or another.
Actually, these people, see, wamekuwa kwa hiyo government, they haven't done anything better. Why do they want to go in then again? No.
The question is not why do they want to go in again. The question is, why are we allowing them to go in again?
We are not allowing them.
We are not allowing them while we are actually...
Personally, if I had the power and the will, I wouldn't allow them to go back.
We are going to vote for them. So there's very difference between voting for them and allowing them to come back.
What you don't understand is I'm not voting. But far from...
Far from that.
Far from
a personal point of view. We are talking about 254.
Far from that. Let's go back to the topic of the day. There's another quote here you sent me.
Yeah.
In economic terms, non-renewables are sources of financial value that cannot be readily replaced at the speed at which they are being consumed. Therefore, as long as the world continues to immerse itself fully into the crude trade and its consumption, it will continue to deplete in quantity, and the price will continue to soar, thus ensuring the high cost of living gets worse for the renewable. In a nutshell, it controls the impact many sectors of our economy. Okay, do you think fuel controls are a bigger part of our economy?
It in fact does, because we are seeing that after the industrial revolution, countries grow, or rather the growth of a country much more was based upon the kind of sources that they use, sources of energy that they use. So we can see that the nations that actually tapped into the non-renewables much more than others are the nations today that wield more power and influence over other nations. So it has everything to do with the power that a nation possesses.
And that's why they like exploiting it too much.
Yeah.
And which body do you think controls the energy consumption?
Body specifically of the government. The body of the government, it should be.
I just want to write an article and tag them.
Let us do our research on that. But specifically, I think something to do with the water they changed. I think they changed the term for it. I can't really tell.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be misquoted here. Yeah, but I think it's something to do with water, natural resources that dock it.
Okay. As an ordinary Kenyan, mostly do you use these resources responsibly? Because before
using them,
what I figured before I talk about it, I should be about it. So I don't need to talk about it. It should be manifested in me. What about you see me? Yeah.
Okay. So I must say that the thing that I do most is just believing in going green, even from a personal point of view.
So everything you use is.
I do. That's what I believe. You must act first personally before expecting the whole world to act. Yeah,
you should lead by example.
Yeah, that's why now I'm environmentally conscious.
Okay.
That's the actual meaning of going green.
And back at where you live, do you encourage people to use the renewables, or you just sit there? You want to change yourself? You don't want to change it with others.
That's a question. Yeah, I can't rally my whole community. Yeah, much more today when people have their own opinions.
But what are you doing to change it?
They're entitled to their own opinions. But I myself talk to individuals. That's what I would say, and actually bring about awareness where it's lacking about energy consumption.
But talk is not going to help us. What are you doing physically?
Physically spreading the word to me is a very powerful thing.
People will remain to be people. Talk is never enough. You need to walk the talk. So from today onwards, if you've been talking, you need to act upon it.
My action is based on the fact that I will change and put an idea, that suggestion in a person's mind, and it will grow eventually. And one person will change another, and that's how we get to change our whole society. So
each one. But
that's how it is.
Okay. Do you care about the world?
Very much.
You should start doing something. You should start doing something.
I do. In fact, there is probably musical aspect of my life. The musical aspect of my life will be very much about being conscious about where we're going, where we're headed to. It encompasses energy and most of the things that are happening in our world today.
Okay. Okay. So it's been nice talking to you. Any last words?
Yeah, I would love to say that in as much as we are using the non-renewable sources of energy and we have accepted that's our road, when they will deplete, when they will be finished, remember the sun will still be shining, the wind will still be blowing, the water bodies will still exist.
Yeah.
So let us think about it and save the world for tomorrow and avoid an apocalypse.
An apocalypse. Okay, me tunaweza sema ni if you can't stop it, stop it. If you can't stop it, find someone who can stop it. And that
the show. For more of these episodes, log on to our YouTube page on Just a Pod. Listen, share, like, subscribe, and for any queries, just contact us on ivusat@gmail.com. That is ivusat@gmail.com, or you can get into personal contact with us on 07 18032 956. I'll repeat, 07 18032 956. And if it's an international call, remember to add the country code, which is +254. Thank you.